Hey, Anthony here from the Best in the West. We are in Fountain Valley, California. I brought the tractor today because this job was already demoed when I got the call, so I'm coming to set it up and pour it. I'm going to grade it and flip the dirt around and see if any needed to come off the property, but it didn't. So the tractor was loaded with the hammer, so I didn't need the hammer. I just brought it. Kristen's going to be greasing this thing up. But if you don't grease them daily, I do it in the morning just one time. It'll get real sloppy and the pins will wear out. And I do the hammer like once a day or every 4 or 5 hours. I hit a couple squirts in it. So if you get a battery powered grease gun, it works really well. You got all of it? Say hello. So I'm just grading this out. I'm gonna set some string lines. There's a little bit of concrete that whoever demoed it left or wherever it came from. So I'm gonna haul this out for them and then I'll grade it out, run some string lines. That's all Chris and I are doing today. I think we go and get the material and drop it back off. These are this is the last fiesta of the summer, so I took a lot of time off going to the beach and hanging with my kids. I work more in the winter. I'll take on some bigger projects or more intricate stuff. But these basic driveways for guys out there doing them are, I mean, lucrative as heck. You can make a bundle. If you do 4 of these a month, I can make 20 grand a month take home just doing 4 driveways a month, you know? As long as you have your own equipment, your own pump, you know, all your own stuff, you can, and you do most of it yourself, you can pull that down. So I'm gonna run some strings to get an elevation on each side so I can see, and then we graded about a foot or two off the perimeter all the way around, and then I can see the grades. I gotta get a tape So I'm gonna have Kristen, it's just her and I today. She's gonna shovel around the edge, her and I, and get the edges, and just, you can eyeball it and flatten it out where it's all wavy, and then you can get a good idea of it. And then when you put the forms in the next day, you can really scrape it exactly where you need it. This soil is like really nice, silty soil. Is really primo. So compacted really good. You can compact it with the trailer. I ran a Vibra plate over it, but you can, excuse me, the tractor. I ran a Vibra plate over it. And there's a porch up here, so I changed the trajectory of the front of his yard. He had like a little step stoop to go into the house. You'll see it to my left on the tractor, and I put a whole porch up there. So there's 2 levels to his the driveway, and then the step up on the porch, right there in that section, in that wall. But you can see this soil is really nice. When it's silty, powdery like that, it's kind of hard to grade because it keeps fluffing up, or your tires. I run solid tires, which each tire is about probably 165 pounds with the rim. So I'm way heavier than an air tire tractor. But I don't get flats, and I never have to worry about it, and they last a long time. I'm just cutting this back because I'm trying to get the edges. Then you can eyeball the middle. When you get the perimeter, you're home free. We'll continue to grade this out. I'm going to be doing the approach at this house too in another week. So you'll see that video, the city approach. And I like to use the teeth like that and drag it back. And then I'll pull it back with the bucket where it's high and low. Depends how you position the bucket. You can angle it and you can drag it back and pull dirt with you as you're going back. Or you can tilt it forward and just push it down like I'm doing right there just to see it. And then you come in with a rake and you just rake it with like a steel rake. Throw a plate compactor on it, you're good to go. So we're going to get this perimeter here around the edge. From the rain and stuff, a lot of dirt, soil ran towards the sidewalk, so it wasn't at grade right there. But these are really good. This is what I would go for all day long. You can do high-end, you know, if you're going to do a YouTube channel, you got to put up benches, J-ditch, stairs. You have to do different stuff to show what you do, and it broadens your whole customer base. High-end, medium, whatever you want to do. So I put a lot of different stuff up. In the winter, I go after more stuff that's challenging. The summertime, I'm at the beach, I'm doing other stuff, so I do minimal for a concrete guy in the summer I can do. And we're going to get this grade done here. It's a nice tractor. This is a case, it's a hand control. I'm mainly a Bobcat guy. I like feet and hand control. This is on the hands, pilot controls. But if you get used to it, And as the more years you're on it, the more comfortable it is. It's got an air ride seat, so you don't feel any bumps or nothing. Yeah, Kristen and I went and got all the material, so we're gonna drop it off this same day. We went and dumped that little load I had, and then we picked up all the material and we'll just throw it on the front yard there for Jeremy, and I set it up the next day. Those are 20-foot number 3s. I just hang them over the bed into my truck. That's the homeowner Gene there. I put him to work. That's Jeremy. That's my guy who's running all my stuff right now. The West Coast Custom Concrete hats are now on my website at westcoastcustomconcrete.net. We got blue and orange right now, so if you want a hat, go on my website and I'll send it to you.
I'll leave a link in the description.
Oh. So I'm just going to plate compact this. My plate compactor still hasn't gotten fixed. The guy's had it for a month, so this guy had a Harbor Freight. I wouldn't suggest buying one of these things. I was pushing this thing around like a 500-pound weight. Didn't work very good, but I got it done and just flattened everything out with it. I would have went and just rented one, but he had it there, so I just ran it over it. And we soaked the ground pretty good. Here we are at the end of the day. We got it all set up. We got all the rebar. Jeremy laid it all out, set it all up. Roberto here is helping out. Where are we cutting? Right here. So we're cutting it with our scissors. More? No. And here's the setup here. Soil here is absolutely perfect. Check this out. It's the siltiest, powdery dirt or soil. It's perfect. We put a porch up here, so there's gonna be a step here. Over here, everything's level. Pretty much just falls from the driveway to the sidewalk. And that's about what we got here. The pour will be tomorrow or Thursday. Today's Tuesday. And the first truck just showed up. This 10 yards on the first load. That's Jeff. I had him pump it again because I'm still on vacation mode. That was 13 yards. I ordered 14. So we had them back to back. When I bid it, I calculated at 13, and that's exactly what it was. I probably had a yard over. I just ordered a 4-yard cleanup. We're just pulling the steel up by hand. You want it on the bottom 1/3. It's just to hold it with tensile with one piece. And there's microfiber. I go with the City Mix in the winter, a 3250. I use it the whole winter. It's a straight sack, no fly ash mix. In the summer, I use a 3000 straight sack. But I'll use the City Mix, and sometimes I'll throw Polar Set or accelerants in it. But if I'm going to use an accelerant, I'll use a 3000 because it gets too sticky and it sets up and gets too hot too quick. It's too high a PSI with an accelerant in it, so I just drop the PSI 500 pounds if I'm going to use a accelerant in it. Winter to summer is a little different. It's still 80 degrees here, 85 in Southern California right now. So we've laid this down. We're waiting on the cleanup. We're just bull floating it. Set up really nice. Set up perfect. Another perfect job. When we ribboned this up, when we jointed it, we put a ribbon all the way around the perimeter, and then we just sliced joints up the middle and across, just single ones. I didn't ribbon the whole driveway because it wasn't wide enough. It's almost, there's too much going on doing it if you do all that. So I put it around the perimeter. Here's the cleanup here. There it is. You can see the ribbon on the corner there. And there's the porch. So we got to crawl out there and strip and face that 2x6 and face it because it's going to be exposed, and cut one up the middle. I usually don't go over 8 feet with a joint. They say 10 feet, but I never go over 8. I like 7. So we cut them up like that. Seems to crack at 8 or 9. I got 4 guys on this in a labor. This is another Best in the West here. A lot of people call me about wanting to get into this, and this is the kind of stuff you want to do is driveways, patios, sidewalks. You can't go wrong. Learn how to do everything in time, but don't take a risk when you're green and you're not sure how to price it, how to do it. I mean, I know how to price this inside and out. I've done estimating for big companies too. I can read plans like nobody's business. And we're gonna throw a broom on it, just a medium, you know, for a non-slip. There's the band around it. Looks pretty nice. This is no color. We almost got a color and then he changed his mind. Setting up nice. We just left Jeremy up on the porch and had 2 or 3 guys down below on the actual driveway. Mainly the thing you want to do when you're bidding these and doing them, don't ever underman it with finishers. I always overman it and price it for one more. And I'm insured, I'm home free. I know it can't blow up, it can't take off fast enough for them. If I need 3 guys and I have 4, for example, or if I need 2 guys and I get 3, I already know the joints are going in, they're clean. It's gonna come out perfect. And that's why I have such a good name in Orange County and my phone rings off the hook. Don't ever, guys I used to pump for would show up so undermanned, it blew my mind. I just couldn't believe it. I know it's not gonna look good. So that's mainly what you gotta know, what per square foot or how you're pricing it in your area. I go by the square foot here, demo and replace. And it'll be different than other states. It'll probably be higher here because of the cost of living than most people. They hear what I charge and they can't believe it, but with the cost of living, concrete, fuel, the whole bit, it equates. I break down my whole living of how much I need to make. Hey, Anthony here from the Best in the West. Here's the job I poured today. It's 13 yards in Fountain Valley, California. We put a band around the perimeter. Just around the perimeter, we opted to go with just a straight joints across because there's too much going on and not enough bigger area. It was more square and bigger, we would have ribboned the whole thing up, but we put a band around it and we just joined it. Show the one up the middle. That's how you cut them, straight as an arrow. Started at 7, it blew up, we were done by 11. Let's go over here and check out the porch right there. We used to have a step going into the house and I took it out. Careful. That's Jeremy, he did all the finishing. So they had a step in front and it stepped up. So we just redid it and put the whole patio as one height. So there's only one step on the whole, 2 levels on the whole front entry. And there's Gene, he loved it. That's Gene. And that's a wrap.